Oklahoma's skilled worker shortage did not fall from the sky. It is the result of budget choices. Oklahoma keeps spending hundreds of millions of dollars on private school tax credits and poorly measured incentives. While a proven program called Oklahoma's Promise could help more students earn degrees, technical credentials, and skilled trade training, and keep more of our own kids working here. Businesses are not asking only for another tax break. The 2026 Oklahoma Business Leaders Poll found that workforce and education are among the top issues affecting growth. National site selection experts are saying the same thing. Skilled labor and technical talent pipelines are now central to expansion decisions. The question is whether Oklahoma's budget reflects what employers say they actually need. Oklahoma has succeeded at being cheap for business. But the state chamber's own competitiveness work cited CNBC rankings showing Oklahoma near the bottom in workforce, education, and quality of life. That is the economic development problem in one picture. A tax credit cannot operate a hospital floor, repair an aircraft engine, or teach a classroom. People do those jobs, and people need education and training. Oklahoma has made some progress, but it remains far behind the national average in bachelor's degree attainment. The broader problem is even bigger than four-year degrees. Georgetown projects that most jobs will require some education or training beyond high school. That includes associate degrees, certificates, technical credentials, apprenticeships, and bachelor's degrees. Oklahoma needs all of those pathways. The college-going pipeline has weakened. Earlier state regents data showed more than half of Oklahoma high school graduates entering an Oklahoma college after graduation. More recent reports show a much smaller share. Methodology changes mean the comparison needs caution, but the practical point is clear. When fewer students enter the state's post-secondary system, every employer feels it later. Oklahoma's Promise was created in 1992 with a smart idea. Make the commitment early enough that students can prepare. Students can apply beginning in the 8th grade. They must take the right courses, keep their grades up, attend school, and avoid serious trouble. In return, Oklahoma helps pay tuition. That is more than a scholarship. It is an agreement between a student and the state. This is not four-year college for everybody. Oklahoma needs bachelor's degrees, associate degrees, career tech programs, apprenticeships, and technical credentials. Oklahoma's Promise can support multiple pathways. The goal should be an affordable path to a valuable post-secondary credential for every qualified student who wants one. Saying students should go into the trades does not pay tuition, buy tools, or provide a place to live. Oshuet's estimated cost for one full-time term is about $6,700 before specialized tools and program costs. Oklahoma's Promise generally covers tuition, but not fees, books, tools, transportation, room, or board. A workforce version of the program should address the real cost of completion. Oklahoma does not have to guess whether Oklahoma's Promise works. The program publishes results. It served almost 15,000 students, supported more than 4,000 certificates and degrees, and more than 94% of graduates were employed in Oklahoma after 1 year. The state regents report that every dollar invested produces $5.88 in economic output. Here is the budget choice. Oklahoma's Promise spent $68.1 million in its latest full report. The private school tax credit is scheduled to reach $275 million. At the current average Oklahoma's Promise award, that amount equals roughly 60,000 annual tuition scholarships. That does not mean every cost disappears, but it shows the scale of the choice. The private school tax credit is often described as if it is mainly moving students out of public schools. The latest tax commission data does not support that claim. Only 7.9% of approved students were reported as having attended public school the previous semester. The rest were not reported as prior public school students. That group can include students already in private school, homeschooled students, and children entering school for the first time. The latest income distribution shows where the tax credits are going. Almost 3/4 of approved students were in households earning more than $75,000. Nearly half were in households above $150,000. Households above $250,000 received $53 million. This does not mean no family benefits. It means the state is making a budget choice. The private school tax credit is also geographically concentrated. Our earlier analysis found that the top 10 private schools received $64.1 million, more than one-fourth of approved school-level credits. A regional match showed that most of the dollars were concentrated in Tulsa and Oklahoma counties, and even more when adjacent metro counties were included. For many rural families, the tax credit does not create a meaningful local option. What could Oklahoma build instead? At the current average, Oklahoma's Promise Award, $275 million equals roughly 60,000 annual tuition awards. The next step would be a workforce completion grant for fees, books, tools, transportation, childcare, and limited housing when a high-demand program is not close to home. The point is not free everything. The point is helping students finish. The proposed Oklahoma Workforce Promise Act would not tear up the current program. It would build on it. It would make workforce development a central purpose, expand eligibility for working families, begin career planning in the 8th grade, treat universities and skilled trades as equal pathways, add completion grants, encourage employer partnerships, and require an annual return on investment report. An expansion will require a real funding source. That is why Oklahoma needs an independent review of the shadow budget. The point is not simply to cut spending. It is to identify public dollars and programs with weak, unproven, or poorly measured returns and move them into programs that produce workers, credentials, higher earnings, and stronger Oklahoma communities. Every major tax credit and incentive should face the same business test. What would have happened without it? How many net new jobs were created? What wages did they pay? How many workers earned credentials? How many stayed in Oklahoma? Did the program outperform other uses of the money? No serious business would spend hundreds of millions based only on the number of checks written. Oklahoma taxpayers deserve the same discipline. Here is the bottom line. Oklahoma became cheap for business, but it still ranks near the bottom in workforce and education. The solution does not have to be invented from scratch. It begins with a promise to an Oklahoma student in the 8th grade. Do the work, prepare for the future, earn a valuable credential, and Oklahoma will help you get there. That is how we keep more of our own kids working here.